Hmm. So why would Satanists exist at all? The last thing you would ever do is, if you're the enemy of the Ku Klux Klan, invent a group called the New Klux Klan and take every word from the Ku Klux Klan and worship the leaders of the Ku Klux Klan and the members and the race that runs the Ku Klux Klan if you're in opposition to it. You would never do that. You wouldn't become a Muslim because you wouldn't plagiarize the Bible because you're fighting the Bible. What happens normally, there's only one religion allowed on earth at a time because religion is racial supremacy, and whichever race runs the planet gets to fucking kill anyone. They've already killed everyone who is not part of their race and taken their lands and raped the children, and then they have the halflings go and worship a new sect. They combine the culture, their culture, with the new one. They did this when the slime fucking had their snake skin, called the Italians, aka the Romans. Nice little snake skin there, where they act like Romans don't exist, but Italians own everything in America. Yet they're Europeans who worship a Middle Eastern religion. And you're not allowed to talk about, I mean, it's the master race now, ain't it? It's what religion is. They're all worshiping one race. So why would anyone choose to be like, oh, as Muhammad Bergstein Ovitz, as a guns that teaches how to act right and to fight our enemies who wrote this Bible. And what we're going to do is we're going to say the Bible is ours. And then guess who does that again? The Europeans did that. They was like, oh no, let's take the Bible. The Bible is ours because the Bible was written by God. Our enemies said so. The race who killed us off and invaded us said so. God wrote the Bible, not except for if you're illiterate, you might not have been able to read that people wrote the Bible, claiming they were gods, claiming they were working for God. Ooh, yeah. They're working. Jeffrey Epstein's fucking one of God's chosen now, isn't he? He must be working. He's working for God. He's working to help rule the world from the Middle East with his little Middle Eastern ass. So what's with any of this new stuff? Like science, like you can ignore it because it's just retards worshiping the Nazis as the smartest people on earth and giving them all their money to go build rockets to go to some place they're never going to go, called space. And the only rockets they use is to genocide and kill and steal land and force convert everyone else into one of the 100 abrahamic religions or anti-religions. So if you were going to actually oppose the KKK or any of their branch organizations, you wouldn't be like, oh, their God said I'm Satan, so I'm Satan now. I'm glad I thought of that. I think's real good. It just, oh, look, I found a book here. God must have wrote it for me. Published 2,000 years ago. God gave it to those people and to bring to me and tell me that they said that they's the master race. But in reality, God wanted them to bring it to me so I could read it and learn that God really wrote it for me to learn I am freedom and I am special. You would never do that. Why would that was common sense that the Italians, whenever they killed someone, they made a new religion. That's why there's so many religions, but they're all the same thing because that's how they operate. Apparently, there's only one group in the planet smart enough to even write a story and parasitical enough to write stories saying, my evil twin is going to kill you if you don't worship me. I mean, it's like a pattern, like the mosquito sucks your blood and the rat runs around and scurries everywhere. And oddly, I mean, I don't specifically choose those, they just come to mind. The crow caws, the dog barks, and then the chihuahua yaps. It's what it does. Why does it do it? I don't know. Did God fail? Did the creator of the game fail when he made chihuahuas? Well, I mean, he was probably testing his crack out, right? When he made mosquitoes and chihuahuas, he's probably testing his crack. I mean, what do you do? I mean, that's how creation works. You just have a thought, and well, there the crackhead goes. They got to create a new thought to defeat that thought now, because apparently you can't just always just be like erase it from the fucking system and erase those things you invent from the system. But yeah, why would a Satanist be a Satanist? That's so stupid, isn't it? Like, if I were to, I'm not going to be like, I'm not a Nazi. I hate Nazis. I'm a newsie. Hitler didn't write Mein Kampf. Bob Schwabel wrote Mein Kampf. And it's a beautiful book about us, not about them. You wouldn't do that. That'd be so stupid. That'd be like going around and talking about things like invisible flying horses, with glowing frickin' noses. You would really have to be on the spectrum, Yes, you would. On the spectrum of unable to have thoughts and shit. To do that now, wouldn't you? Why would you do that? If the KKK says I'm a Negro, I'm a dirty Negro, I don't go around going, oh, I'm a dirty Negro. Although that's a bad example now, isn't it? But let's get this straight. Those people don't own any media, so I'm kind of thinking they might not have invented that for themselves either. But it is what it is. You really wouldn't do that when it comes to the KKK, though. Like, right? I mean, I'm Satan. Like, if you want me to be Satan, I'll be Satan. So let's go build a church and write some books and constantly talk about it. I'm just going to talk about it all the time. I mean, the whole reason for not being part of the KKK is not wanting it around, not wanting to hear about it. I mean, especially certain arms of the KKK. All they do is, I mean, they're fucking this passive. Where I'm from, they're this passive aggressive group that goes around threatening your life if you don't worship them as gods. And they're like, someone, my enemy said he's going to torture and kill you if you don't worship us, and come give us money. And I know you're on your way to work, but you know what? Money's not important because you might use that money to not support our race. And so instead of work, let's just talk about the many reasons you will benefit from worshiping a 2 billion strong race that says they're one God. But yeah, so it kind of depends on which one you're dealing with and stuff as to the methods they use, because it depends on which people they've colonized as to what mind control they have to use. Apparently, different people are different. And so when they're in the Middle East, they taught them some really vicious things when they colonized the Arabs. Um, it could be also that they themselves are turning into fucking pudding cups. And that's that. I mean, you can see USA is pudding cup nation these days. First time in its history it's ever had someone invade its empire lands, and they're not doing nothing about it. So, and they're not gonna. Apparently, that's because they can't do anything about it. I mean, they're still working on protecting their. Wait, is it the second? It's the second I can trace. I suppose they were the Aztecs as well, so might as well just chalk that up as their third one. Did the Aztecs come before their conquest of Egypt? Probably, because it was like older and um, less less built, you know. As you go from being a conqueror to a pudding cup, you know, you kind of like, oh, I want something nice and fancy. You know, I don't need my plastic bag anymore to carry something nice, and I need a nice piece of leather. You know, like, so you can see the pyramids got better and stuff. Like right now, the USA built a pyramid that is like, it's not like the other pyramids. You know what I'm saying? USA's pyramid is modern. It's like the only modern building they have because they're pudding cup. Fucking pudding cup kind of fucking doesn't make good brain material, apparently. So they wasted all their money building a fancy fucking pyramid as, you know, maybe they build the pyramids right before they kill the people, fucking though. So, you know, as like a memory. Like, remember we were here and we ruled your ass, and you are still going to be slaves forever. We're going to use our last few dollars here to build this pudding cup pyramid. But the pyramid here is fucking, it's some fancy looking shit, dude. That's not no sand and dirt fucking from thousands of years ago. And some highly processed sands and dirts with glowing flashy lights and casinos inside and stuff. I'm assuming that's casino and shit because hey, what else do pudding cups do with their fucking money besides create more fucking pyramid schemes? Perfect place for a pyramid scheme, isn't it? Or for a casino, isn't it? Inside a pyramid. The pyramid scheme fucking brought to you by the original pyramid schemers and shit. Like, they got their hands on every fucking pyramid scheme now, don't they? They own the media, that's a scam. They own Facebook, that's a scam. They own the internet, that's a scam. They own USA, that's a scam. They own certain areas in the Middle East, those are definitely scams. They own all the religions, those are scams. They own the Satanism, that's a scam. And then, so like, okay, so even if you're going to start, you know, there's a logical reason why Europeans, some of them might not have been killed off or living in the forest and no one found them when they, you know, brought the Crusaders up into Europe did they come? No, they probably went from Egypt to Israel to Italy and then used Italy to conquer those areas. So I guess the Crusaders came from Italy. Yeah, I mean, that's the time frame right there, right? Rome Italy loses all its power, and then all of a sudden a new empire appears. Oh my, a new empire with the same fucking symbols and the same fucking people running it up here. I mean, that Prince Harry dude. He looks like one of those Roman statues, doesn't he? All sexy with that sexy hair. He got that sexy hair look them Roman statues have like this, like them old people in America used to have, and they used to say they got perms, but then I'd be looking at their pictures when they're kids, and I realized you never had straight hair to have to get a perm, did you? Fucking like Marilyn Monroe, the Marilyn Monroe, everyone's favorite prostitute. Didn't look nothing like that at all. But might as well sell the product. Might as well deceive people and shit. Fucking, boy, they do that a lot these days, but that's not this video. Anyway, so the Satanists. So the Satanists are worshiping someone who ran guns for Israel. So, like, okay, so at first, there could have been a logical explanation because the Europeans were colonized by Middle Easterners right after Rome fell, which Rome was Middle Easterners apparently. If you just look at their fucking statues, you're either you might be looking at the statues and be like, oh, it's them blonde hair, blue eyed Nazis, just like Hitler, just like Zelensky, the modern Nazi, and Goebbels, them blonde hair, blue eyed Nazis. They own everything. Every time I meet a blonde hair, blue eyed person, they're fucking burning out in their Lamborghinis in the middle of the street and shit. Just fucking, and they come up to me and they smack me in the face with a wad of $100 and go, you look poor, you stupid Negro. And fucking blonde hair, blue eyed fucking Romans and shit, man. Filling in the fucking blanks there. Looking at those statues. It's not looking at those statues. It's when I fucking went to fucking propaganda school, Sunday school, fucking, and the cartoons they used to show, it always showed Roman people is like, the Roman soldiers was always these blonde hair, blue-eyed Nazi, pig-looking motherfuckers and shit. And it's like, okay, so Italians used to have blonde hair and blue eyes. That's, wow, fuck, dude. What happened? The Italians really got fucked up then. Rome really was fucking conquered and laid to waste, huh? That or having gray statues allows the people who own all the media and have written all the history in the world, because they're the ones killing everyone who says anything else, and they're the ones who steal everything when they kill everyone. So they're the ones who own everything, and they own the book printing presses and the media and stuff like that. So we have the writer of the Satanic Bible. He had to shave his head, right? The Europeans might have been like I heard Bathory music, and their music talked about how when these people from the Middle East came up fucking and built, they killed everyone off and built churches as a sign of conquest and stuff. Just like when Zelensky went up there to Ukraine, which is Khazaria, and that's why he uses the devil's pitchfork, because that's the Khazarian symbol. And now the black gangs, they use, what do they use? They use the Star of David, and they use the little beautiful sign there, huh? They use that little beautiful pitchfork, which is the Khazarian symbol on the Ukraine flag. But, yep, so is that really a good idea there? We're going to oppose, technically the Bible's only been around 4,000 years, and it even said, they even brag, because they supposedly they existed back then, and they have to brag about, they have to release the caramel, it's the caramel macchiato, man. So imagine who owns Starbucks fucking conning people for $8 coffee and has a fucking symbol of Satan on their front, has their Abrahamic symbol fucking on the freaking logo. Boy, it's either a really obedient slave, not, because they own something and they're not allowed to own anything. So, yeah, there we go. That's a good Satan to worship there, isn't it? But anyways, so the other dude's running guns for Mossad. So he says, okay, their argument, because they've been doing this for 6,000 years. What story is a human ever repeated that has any sort of value to it? I mean, they so fucking dumbed down that they go out here talking about flying reindeer and worshiping flying reindeer and shit, and it's just fucking cash grab and shit, and it's a way to prop up fucking finances and continue the worship of the bloodline and shit. Fucking the Satanists, their leader had to. In America, see, America also took over Satanism and made it really, I want to thuck your dick, big boy type. Because with that movie Lords of Chaos, like they turned it into some pudding cup shit. I mean, for some people who hire everyone else in the world to go kill them and create all these cults to call off people and kill them and mutilate their genitals, they have a problem. They're like a weak mentality. I mean, no one would be alive, if they were smart enough to just like kill everyone instead of having sex with them and keeping the baby alive. And it's not like they care about the kid because they enslave the kid. They create those it's their kid. They'll kick the other parent out of its life. They'll kill the other parent. Back in the day, I'm sure they just killed them, and they own the hospitals these days. I'm sure they just abduct babies and shit. And if they need to really fry the baby's mind and stuff, because those hospitals are the ones drugging children, doing the pedophile rituals, pedophile mutilation acts. They are the ones in control of the drug trade, which is directly linked. Their largest profit is directly linked to their need to go to war in the Middle East. Their largest profit is actually the hospitals are directly involved with fucking needing the Middle East to be bombed so they can destroy their cash crop and make more money off of it. And on top of that, they've got all those Ku Klux Klan gang signs, the Satanists and atheist and Christian sign on it, which is all racial supremacism about stealing land in the Middle East because their Middle Eastern religion says that land is theirs, but they own every other land on the planet too. So just because they got morons who help them, or probably not morons, probably is their people. There's a hell of a lot of them, right? The people don't get colonized. Like, you don't just walk into someone's house and say, hey, you're working for me now, fucking, I'll kill you. If you walk into the house, you kill them, you rape the woman, the child, and then you try to make that thing work on the lower rung of the pyramid for you and stuff. That's how it works. This is how they work. It would work so much better if you just killed everyone and did all the work yourself, but for some reason they don't. I probably because they're fucking not very good with raising kids or liking people of the opposite sex. The game doesn't explain some fucking things. Why it invents mosquitoes and shit. I just figured literally mosquitoes. It's inventing the mosquito so you can study the mosquito and see it appear in other walks of life and shit. But could just be random generation, as I suspect a lot of the stuff here is. But yeah, I also see the thing where certain things are pointing out to other things, just like all the history is like the same thing over and over because it's the same people doing the same fucking thing. And I'm not even fully certain that any of that existed because it's just telling you what's happening today. And no one could have ever caught on over thousands of years, just like this group here. I could see if you actually oppose these groups and shit, but you wouldn't oppose a group by being like, oh yeah, we're gonna write a new Bible to oppose the old Bible. I mean, the biggest argument for most of this stuff is just how annoying they are with their passive aggressive tactics to steal your life from you, and so their people can attempt to catch up and shit. I'm not sure they can actually do this stuff. Like Elon Musk, uh, he's talking about he needs foreigners to come into the country. Yeah, because everything he's got, he stole. And just like Zuckerberg, his story, Zuckerberg and Gates, their story is they stole their shit from someone else. And Edison, Einstein, um, what was that? Who made the film thing? Supposedly took it from Edison. Not that it really matters because he was in New York, anyways, which is the real capital right now of everything, which means that obviously it's highly populated by them. I mean, you just look at TV and that's where the Italians live, right? Is in New York. So that's where the Romans live now, is New York. And obviously everywhere else, but you know what I'm talking about. New York's known for the Roman, population, the Roman mafia. Um, so I don't think that's really a good idea if you're going to oppose something to. I mean, obviously, what's being done, they took that, they dumbed it down. They dumbed down black metal, which was like kind of like black metal actually had, anti KKK type messages, except for the morons going around doing this same thing where they look at the Italians, the other Italians, and they're like, oh no, these are our gods. We're going to worship these Italians because the other ones are the evil ones. It's like, well, can't you like not worship the same people as everyone else? Like, can you have your own thoughts, maybe? But yeah, so it's the idea. They put ideas out and it tricks you. And if you're illiterate and lazy, you don't fucking you don't go reading it to see that that doesn't even exist in that storyline. They're like, oh, that was the enemy. That was our enemy. And then you go and read it and it's like, oh, Hitler invented Israel, huh? Oh, Hitler didn't have blonde hair and blue eyes, huh? Boy, that took fucking 10 seconds to figure out that that's a scam now, didn't it? I didn't need to wait for Zelensky to tell me where he's from, and in order to already know where Zelensky is from Italy. Or at least one point in time, his family treaded through those areas and conquered and colonized them. And that's not its first time in Khazaria either. Supposedly, they got kicked out. They get kicked out of everywhere yet. What place are they not running? Why are there gang signs in every nation? How come every nation except for China, uh, and I can't say anything about that stuff because, I mean, if China like was not involved, you'd think they would have. And China was really these people did all this stuff that Americans tell me about when they were trying to convince me I need to hate Asians and go kill them so they can steal their resources and land and stuff. Um, they would kill someone like Andrew Chu of TikTok if I mean his last name's a dead giveaway, but his face is definitely not looking Asian. But then again, Mao looks kind of weird too, and Mao followed communism, which is what? What is communism? Well, it's Karl Marx invention. So there we go again. We have another Ku Klux Klan member. Um, yeah, my bad. I always like let China off, and then I end up like 30 seconds later be like, oh yeah, that's right, their Lord and Savior is Karl Marx. So there we go. They worship Middle Eastern belief sets, just like Just like Satanism and science is anti-religion, but they still worship and say the Middle Easterners, these pale skinned Middle Easterners, are the smartest people and best people on the planet. I cut them checks and send them all my money, and I wear their shirts with their picture on it. And they say E equals potato chip plus candy wrapper. And it's so smart, man. Mind blown. I can't even understand what happens when I could have never figured out what happens when we mix a potato chip in a candy wrapper. He's so smart. I mean, boy, I just learned how to spell potato chip. Fucking, this dude is so smart. Things like that. So yeah, I forget that. Yeah, China does worship them as gods. That's their just like America, for some reason, around the time I came here, had to start developing an anti KKK, anti racist, more snaky propaganda. Um, when I first came here, it wasn't cool to like say I don't want to be part of that, or I don't think we should do that and shit. I never felt safe talking to other people. I still kind of don't, because I meet people out here all the time who, like, their first sentence with me is them Mexicans, and dude, what, you got any money to donate to the war to protect Israel and shit like that? And it's like, no, I got some money to donate to Hamas. You got Hamas's address? I got some money to donate to Mexico. You give them some money and they can. They got a nice city. I don't see why they would even want to come up here, but maybe they were kicked off their land and some of those people were actually from here. You never know. But, you know, this is a standard conversation. I had one proselytizer come up to me and he was talking to me about, like, well, it's written they're supposed to be slaves. Slavery isn't a bad thing, and why do they need to be free? And we were talking about Black Lives Matter and stuff. And I was talking about how people who look like him were taking over Black Lives Matter, and they don't look very black, and they shouldn't be in control of these things, and how they're, and the rest of it, how I'm just happened to be in this courthouse because people who look like him just banded together to try to kill me and fucking come at me again with some fake trumped up charges when their people try to kill me and stuff. So yeah, there we go. I mean, that's kind of like the interactions I've been getting for all year. That's my white people interactions. So, since we're going to classify all white people as one people, might as well. I mean, I think in America, I don't see too many Brits, or, I mean, then again, I don't trust the Brits. Look at those people. Prince Harry definitely looks Italiano, or should I be more proper and say Azteco or Egypto? Because it's clear that same fucking ants building the same fucking ant mounds wherever they go. Perfect fucking analyzation, right? Because they're literally waste their time building mounds for some dumb, ugly bitch, too. Like, they don't even. What the hell's the purpose? I mean, obviously, ants are there to give the illusion that soil is being recycled. They're nature's recyclers and stuff, because the earth isn't just like infinite or anything like that, obviously. So you gotta at least create the illusion that there's something making plants grow and things like that if you want to immerse yourself. So yeah, I think that's real dumb there to do that. Like, I always want to just, like, like carve like pentagrams in my forehead, to keep people away from me who are going to come to me and waste my time and try to suck my blood. Baby mutilators, male mutilators, baby genital fondlers, the people who, that's it's really sick ideas. I have to wake up like in a world every day where I'm like, oh shit, the baby fucking fondlers are the people who mutilated me as a child and run the drug trade and shit gonna be coming into my life today to fucking try to get me to worship the KKK or what? Because it's why I don't leave my house, because it would fucking happen now, wouldn't it? How do I have these? How do I fucking have any story of meeting anyone if I don't even go outside until they fucking trap me and trick me, and then they set up like attempts on my life so they can send people in my life to tell me I gotta worship their race and give them all my money. Like literally, they're showing up at the courthouse and stuff because this is what this alien slime does. They try to kill you and then press charges against you, and then come and teach. This is what they do. It's threats and blackmail. That's the whole fucking Bible. That's what Santa Claus is. Santa Claus is just their terrorism fucking rebranded for Europeans. They erased and replaced with halflings, and that's all it is. That would be illegal in any fucking sane country if fucking these people didn't go around the world already colonizing and killing everyone and forcing everyone to worship them in one form or another. Karl Marx, Jesus, Satan, Allah, Einstein is so smart. You can't have everything, so God's got to make him. God makes him look like the dumbest person on the fucking planet to confuse you, so can't have everything, can you? Except for the fact that every time one of them talks, it's always the dumbest shit you've ever heard now, isn't it? Have you ever listened to Howard Stern or Seinfeld? Do people actually watch that? I mean, seriously, your parents like should be arrested for fucking forcing you to smoke crack as a fucking toddler if you fucking think that shit's interesting. I mean, I had their people trying to convince me that shit, is Howard Stern looking bitches and shit fucking be like, oh, that's so funny. He told a fart joke. And I'm like, you is mentally retarded. You is like 80 years old. And I'm like fucking 2 days old. And you're sitting around telling fart jokes. And I think you should be back in kindergarten, fucking learning how to pass kindergarten before you die. Because you ain't going to be able to get in heaven unless you can pass kindergarten. At least not the real heaven. The fake heaven going to be full of retards and pedophiles, apparently. Because I'm sure that exists, and that's not got anything to do with an alien race going around torturing and enslaving the fucking planet using passive aggressive mind control on the people who are gullible and maybe mentally weak enough to fall for something like that. That's the point of the different things here, is different people have to fall for different fucking delusions. So China openly is like, keep your fucking KKK, all of your shit out of here. We don't want your fucking Christian proselytizing. We don't want your Muslim proselytizing. Probably don't want Satanist proselytizing. Fucking, but who do they have? They got Karl Marx proselytizing. So fucking different things work for different people apparently and shit, and they're still trying to get their foot in the door. You can see all over the YouTube, they are so obsessed. The KKK is so obsessed. They're like, China is so evil, they don't allow their people the freedom for us to come and tell them that our enemy is going to torture and kill them for all of eternity if they don't worship us as gods. Because China is evil. We must go bomb China. We must sanction China and destroy China because China doesn't want us to come tell them that the truth of our peaceful cult, that the truth is Satan is going to kill and torture you forever if you don't go die for Israel. Go die killing Native Australians, go die killing Native Americans, go die killing Africans, go die enslaving them. If you just don't go die for us, our enemy is going to come kill you, and we're trying to save you from him. We're trying to save you from him. Oh, hey, brother. Hey, we didn't actually write that book on Satanism, did we? They don't have a book. Call up Uncle Shlomo Bergstein. He's a good writer. That's it. Just name any famous writer you know, because they're the smartest and the best people. That's why they own everything, and they drug and mutilate and rape children and invade every nation and genocide and kill and replace every fucking one they come across and force everyone to worship them as gods. And their passive aggressive fucking manipulation bullshit, talking about their enemy is going to kill you. I wonder if that's like if there are how many other living characters in the game? Because we know they're bots. You can see on the TV. You compare all the news videos and shit. Fucking, those are bots. They don't exist now. How many of the bots are there? How many of the humans have been replaced by non-existent beings? I don't know that, but I can tell you there's a hell of a lot of them and shit. I think it lined up everyone at a tourist trap I went to when I asked what's going on. And I was like, how the hell did you get all these people, all these bots in one area? This place has a lot of bots in it, don't it? And shit. Fucking, but, yeah, I think that's what's happening there is, this is what they've been doing their entire existence. Does a mosquito fly? It certainly does. If something's flying in the air and I hear it, could it be a mosquito? It certainly could be. If it's barking all vicious, could it be a mosquito? No, probably not. Probably not, right? So when we have a snake, when we see a snake molting its skin everywhere, and the pattern of the snake is everywhere, and you can see that the pattern of the scales is left in the molt it's left behind. When you see that molt again, if it looks exactly like that snake, it very well could be that snake, especially if it's 10 feet away. You could tell the snake was going to the northeast. And the new moat you found was 25 steps to the northeast. Could it possibly be the same snake shedding its skin yet again? Yes, indeed. That's we might have to go back in time and get that nature guy everyone loves so much, with Val Kilmer, or whatever his name was. The guy who died, whatever, Pat Sajak, who cares? Anyways, we might have to get an expert like him on the subject, but you just look at what they've been doing, and what they do is they go to a new area and they kill the people and rape the children, and they take the offspring of that and they give them a new religion, which is a mixture of their religion and the conqueror's religion. And that's where you have pagan holidays like mixed with Middle Eastern worship, because it's Middle Eastern. You worship the Middle Easterners as gods. You pick up your Bible and it says the Middle Easterners are God's chosen people. And you turn on your TV or you go to your church and they're talking about how great these people are and they're the best people in the world and they're so smart and you're nothing and you are designed to serve them and give them all your money and go die for them, help them steal more land so you can create more people like yourself and destroy everything that was good on the planet, replace it with Jeffrey Epstein, the most beautiful fucking Howard Stern on the planet. Clearly, he probably does a lot of work. Howard Stern just doesn't use a hair straightener like Marilyn Monroe did. Marilyn the manho. Marilyn Manho. Bitch look like a man. Just like Howard Stern looks like a girl. Because they don't look fucking same now, don't they? Fucking. Why is that? Like, literally, they could fucking. I always used to be like, why do people think I'm a girl and shit? Like, because they see me from behind and I just have long hair. And they don't notice. Fucking, like, before women worked out, like, I guess they maybe looking at my butt and maybe, I mean, they gotta be gay because you wouldn't fucking. You don't know what a man's butt looks like. It looks all like a man. So, especially when you work out and like my triceps, it's like I was always like, how do you do that? But some of these other people, like with Howard Stern, I don't see that. It's like, that doesn't look like a woman, but it does look like it, you know, some of those pale skinned Middle Eastern women and stuff, you know, it kind of looks the same. There's like a little blurred line there for certain people. And then they try to blame that on everyone else. Like because they run the Nazis. So in their Nazi propaganda, they're always talking about black people as if black people own anything or do anything. Like, I go outside and white people are like, all the Mexicans are raping and killing everyone. And it's like, well, really? Is that who just been trying to kill me my whole life and raping me my whole life? Because maybe they just got their first freaking Howard Bergstein mayor, governor down in Mexico City. So maybe that's what they're doing, is planning their next conquest. Probably. Every time they attack someone, it's who they're trying to kill and steal. And now they're the governors or leaders of Mexico City. So Mexico's lost. Mexico has fallen. Fucking. But will they still use Mexico to invade North America? Probably, because you have to erase the history of a place continually and continually rewrite it. That way it's all hidden in obfuscation. And for some reason, the retarded asses go through all the effort to do that, but claim they have to brag to release the caramel, releasing their caramel. I'm telling you, these aren't living beings. These aren't living beings' thoughts. You could, with that type of power and control, you could have easily conquered the world and fucking made it your fucking world and shit. Erased everyone else and made them all like you. Unless you just really think Howard Stern looks disgusting and you gotta keep other people alive, but still they're mixing in with them. And so when they do that, I don't know, maybe they plan on keeping a few alive as sex slaves. They do seem obsessed with the sex slave and the BDSM thing. Probably one of the only, I always figure people into that stuff are people who have a hard time finding another person who wants to touch them. So they're like begging for any sort of interaction at all. I don't understand that myself, but I just don't let it bother me. I definitely wouldn't be begging for someone to touch me. I don't want. Damn it, my life's different. I have excuses. Um, I knew all along I was being forced into some shit. But that's what this is. I mean, why the fuck would you pick up the Satanist shit and be like, ooh, as the enemy of the Ku Klux Klan and the neo Nazis and all the 18 other, no, there's like 40,000 different Christian denominations alone. So how many Muslim denominations? That's for each little city they've conquered and shit. And a couple of them might have like shot off a, come on, what, you would never like take someone else's shit and claim to be that. That's like these flying reindeer people and shit. No, there must have never been a fucking thought in their head and shit, because that's not what living beings fucking think about. They don't be like, ooh, what if Bigfoot was flying through the air? Let's make a holiday about it. Hey. And if someone comes up to you talking about Bigfoot flying through the air holiday, a living person would just be like, yeah, um, what are you, a Christian or something? Are you just here to waste my time? Like, are you gonna threaten me here soon and tell me I need to give all your money to you? Like, what's the purpose of the flying Bigfoot story, son? We're not gonna fucking talk about it. We're not gonna say agree with you like, ooh, flying Bigfoot. Oh yeah, here it comes. We don't like the second you hear those words as like your first 5 minutes on Earth, you hear people talking about that, and you're like, we're going to test your ass because we think you're a lying, passive aggressive manipulator, and you're a deceptive person, and you're a terrorist, because the rest of your story is about fucking how someone you know is going to fucking bring me hot coals and burn me in them if I don't do everything you say, which happens to be the exact same parallel to the KKK handbook. So, yeah, I mean, seriously, it takes a 2 second, a fucking a person in their first 5 minutes of thought on Earth to be like, yeah, no flying reindeer today, son. Like, you go back to your crack pipe and get the fuck out of my house and shit. Like, you stay the fuck away from my family, you stay the fuck away from my children, stay the fuck away from my girlfriend. And if you are my girlfriend or my fucking wife and you start talking about that shit, you get the fuck out of my house. I'm gonna find someone who's not a fucking mental retard. You are child abuse if you have a sex with a person like that, if you have a child with them. And you're at high risk of having a child when you have sex. So, why would you even talk to someone like that? Fucking, that's a crackhead on the corner. But the other crackheads on the corner, it's perfectly acceptable. They're like, our friend's gonna kill and torture you our enemy's gonna kill and torture you forever if you don't worship our race as gods and give us all your money and go die in wars, helping us steal more land so more people can be good slaves like you. And so we get through all of this, and the opposition to them is letting them write a book telling us their brother is the opposition. Literally, that's what the story is. The story is, give us all your money or someone we know is going to torture and kill you, and that someone they know is their fucking uncle who is their best friend. And then their uncle goes and writes the Satanic Bible and says, oh yeah, we're in opposition. We're high five, just like Borat. I mean, they fucking laughing at people, like, because they are retarded. So I mean, that whole show right there was racism about trying to help invade Russia, apparently, fucking to restore Khazaria to the Israeli, I'm sorry, it's the USA Empire now. It was never the Israeli Empire, and it never really was if they were actually from the Middle East and from Aztec or something like that first. But yeah, I mean, it's literally what they're doing. They're like, my brother said, if you don't worship me, he's going to kill you and torture you forever. Once you're dead, he's going to keep torturing you. That's what the story is. And so we're going to, like, it just takes a few seconds to look it up. I mean, is it really that easy? But just don't get fooled by a bald head person and stuff. Like, it's real easy to spot who these people are. They've been designated to the point. They've been created to the point where their women and their men look exactly the same. You don't even have to separate the sexes and shit. They look exactly the fucking same and shit. Fucking and they say they write everything. So they say they look like Rothschild because they're interbred and deformed because they interbreed so much, which yeah, the ones at the top, definitely. But does that really cause them to look like that, or is this just the way they were designed? I think it's the way they were designed because it it's something that people need to look at in order for anything to change and anything anywhere. And it would be hard to see, a lot harder, probably a lot harder, if they didn't all look the frickin' same. So, it's kind of like Mario. Like, can you tell who's the difference between an enemy in the game and who's Koopa? Yeah, Koopa is like entirely separate. And right away when you walk into a room with Koopa, you're in boss battle and shit. They all look exactly the females, the Koopa females in Koopa Land look exactly like the freaking males. They just have their hair tied up in a pink bow. That's the only way you even know it's a female. It doesn't even have tits. I don't think so. Fucking. But yeah, this is so stupid, dude. Like I always want to, like carve pentagram in my forehead to keep away people who are trying to tell me that I need to go worship the KKK race as gods and give them my money. And I don't like the KKK at all. I don't like anyone who goes around telling me one race is so much better than the other and needs to enslave everyone else. And unless someone's got some evidence here they want to come out with about who the bots are, and bots aren't races, bots are models. So at most they're models. That's if they're a real bot and not just a couple pixels, couple beams of light, so to speak. Anyways, yeah, this is amazing that anyone could do this. This is so stupid. The whole point to the only logical thing anyone ever made argument to opposing these people, because no one ever opposes, especially in my life, because I have like everyone I met, like not everyone, but most people who got real close, and I think could have been these people forcing their way into my life, because we did catch them doing that, and they do the drugging and the hunting me down thing since I was born and stuff, and they do that to everyone too, but maybe more so to me, especially because I can see, and I talk about it. But I think that I think it's pretty obvious what they're doing there. You wouldn't be like, oh, the Bible's not yours, Christians. It's mine. It's the Satanic Bible. You wouldn't even write a Bible. Why would you do that? If you oppose the KKK, why would you write the new KKK manual? Why don't you just call it the anti-KKK manual? People be asking online too. Like, how come Satanist bands, they only talk about Christians? And, well, that's what happens when you have a Middle Eastern country like USA claiming to be European people, uh, who are constantly hiding who they really are. So the reason why they can't talk about the other Middle Eastern religions is because this is what it's designed for. This is what all the snakes' fucking molten skin is designed for. Every down to atheism and Satanism. You're worshiping in communism. You're worshiping the KKK. Race is the smartest people on earth. They're the smartest people. He's so smart. He said something. Oh, it's so great. It's done through Hollywood too. Like, they worship them as gods on TV. They're the best actors. No, they're the only actors. They're the only actors. Rodney Dangerfield wasn't funny, but at least he wasn't as not funny as Seinfeld. They don't even. At least Rodney Dangerfield could make a stupid face. Like, you laughed at his stupid face. He didn't have too much. If you look like a Rothschild, you can just walk around, and if you'd be like, yeah, you can laugh at me because I look so stupid. People will be like, good face. Oh, that's so funny. So at least Rodney Dangerfield made stupid faces. But this is like the height of American intellect and shit, or the people on the North American continent. I don't know too many Americans myself. I was going to stop, but I was busy looking for those fake. I was going to stop at the Native Reserve, but I was busy trying to get to the fake fire that made the sky, the horizon, all the way over to Hawaii and China red. And it made my car fill with soot, but with the windows out, but didn't see no fire. Anyways, I think that's related. Not sure exactly how that's related, but it's related here. The fake fire. I mean, they own the media. They own California. They own USA. They own the monopoly on God stuff. Maybe they really are an alien race with some sort of magical power. Like, they are the Star Trek nerds, when Spock does this, or when you have that other sign upside down, that's the Kohanim priest symbol. It's the New World Order sign. So, yeah, I mean, they got a monopoly on space, too. You got Elon Musk with his Middle Eastern looking ass. And his Middle Eastern delusions. So obviously, they might not be from the Middle East. Like, I think they think in their head they might be space aliens, but they definitely alien to living beings. I'm pretty sure on that. I think having to call herself is real. Again, is them trying to convince themselves of something that isn't real. Just like most of the words coming out of their mouth. That I'm not sure who they're trying to convince, because it doesn't convince me. Maybe they're trying to convince themselves that Rudolph is coming, or Seinfeld is funny, or America isn't the people who invented crackheads, because that's just what it is. The fruits of its labor. I mean, literally, they suppress intelligence and target them. I'm going to assume that that's why they started drugging me as a kid, and how they first started thinking I might be God, if they really think that shit. Fucking, I mean, why else would you try to kill someone and stuff all the time? Like, if you really didn't think that. Like, you gotta keep the other slaves alive, or they don't do any work. Okay, maybe I failed the Christmas test, and when you actually have a thought, they gotta kill you. They're like, oh shit, that's not a bot. That's a fucking living being. We gotta kill him. That could be God. Fucking, he doesn't fucking. I also assume that might be part of that shit, and it kind of is. Like, why else would you invent such stupid religious things? It's like, how stupid could humans actually be to be like, oh my God, That guy's half bird. He's got a mask on his head that makes him look like a bird. That means he's a half bird. I doubt that. I mean, uh, the only people stupid enough to believe that would be them. I mean, God, seriously, my cat doesn't even go around fucking talking about Amon Ra or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and shit. My cat doesn't even fucking bat an eye. My cat would look at me like I'm stupid if I went around talking about that shit. My dog would leave. My dog would go find a new home. Fucking be like, hey, get out of here. Yeah, I've been with an owner like you before, man. Once you start hitting that crack fucking that much, you're gonna start beating me and stuff. Soon after that, trying to get me to go make some crack money, prostituting the dog out. Fucking make some crack money. I'm out of here. Dog be gone. Fucking Rudolph won't even bring me a new dog after that. Imagine that. I'd be like, Rudolph, you caused me to lose my dog. And then Rudolph be like, who cares? Shut up. Fucking shut up and buy some crap. And don't forget to go. It's very important that we don't just buy things during the holiday seasons. We must go to church and give them extra money so they can blow up the Middle East and steal more land, or blow up the Asians and the Chinese and invade China. Yeah, it's really important we get into China through religion, because without the KKK belief, without some sort of my race is God belief set, getting into China, how we gonna kill them? I guess we're gonna have to invent some sort of political thing where we don't mention that we're gods who need to be worshipped, and you just worship us. Very similar to the Satanists and the atheists. No, I got on that and I got off. People ask in the comments a lot, how come black metal doesn't talk about, it's all anti-Christian. It's like, oh, there's black metal out there that doesn't talk about even anti-Christian, really. Like, I was listening to some that talks about the direct roots of the Bible. You know, the over privilege. You know, those so pasty pale white people, or so pasty pale whatever people. They're Middle Easterners, but they're so pasty pale white. They're like translucent, and they're running shit. They're running everything because for thousands of years they've been inside, or either inside their pyramid, or having people carry them around on their cart things with the shade, and you know, an Egyptian slave holding the umbrella over their head and stuff. If I would assume that's how you get to become so pale. Like, I become that way. Like, hell, I'm becoming a little bit more translucent than I've been in my past and stuff by staying inside. Somehow I managed to stay inside more than I did. I guess I used to go outside till I realized. It's mostly when I became an adult, the adult crackhead bots started to talk to me. Now, they already sent like literal crackheads to like talk to me when I was a kid and waste time generally. Fucking but now I'm older. Like, for some reason, people talk to me more and shit. I don't know why. Like, I think people thought I was an adult when I was a kid too. At least they said that. Like, none of the women I was with fucking was like, oh shit, you're a kid. Fucking, I mean, I don't think they cared, but I definitely had jobs say that. You know, like, you're a kid. Like, oh, that, aren't you supposed to be at school instead of here working? Like, no, supposed to be working. I'm fucking. What am I gonna do at school? That's stupid. That's a dumb question, boss. What am I doing? Why am I at school? They told me not to come back because I told them where they can shove it because I got to go get a job here. So, anyways, yeah, I don't think that's really a good idea. It looks like the same thing. Those people are not talking about that because USA has co opted that because USA is the major base. You can see where they've ran over the years, and you can see they're in a lot of places. And you can see that um, Trudeau of Canada looks like Elon Musk, looks like Donald Trump's children, looks like Barack Obama's mom, looks like Baraka Hud's period, looks like uh, Macron of France, also who's below Macron of France. Looks like Kamala's wife, who's below, or wife, husband, same thing with them, right? Kamala's, not Kamala, but Macron from France, and then I mean, you have Russia worshiping Italian religion, Middle Eastern religion. Uh, you got weird people in China who allow things like Andrew Chu to exist and run their biggest media. When if that was really like spyware or was supposed to be competing with USA, you wouldn't hire the Middle Easterners who populate USA to run your media if you're going to compete against the Middle Easterners who populate USA, the God's chosen Middle Easterners who every land is their land. I don't like that word Middle Easterner because technically Egypt's in Africa, right? And we know that this started when they were in Egypt, most likely before, because crummier pyramids existed before that. Again, you don't plagiarize other people's stuff, other people's racial supremacist government organizations, and say they're real. Like China knew that, and that's why they had to send in. That's why I had to slaughter them with fucking communism and shit because they wouldn't accept the other. Like when they had tried to colonize China before, China specifically said no um, missionaries because missionaries are Jeffrey Epstein's, like literally. But I mean, obviously, that's who's legalizing the child rape and doing it is Catholics and Christians and Satanists and atheists are on board these days. They are doing those things. I mean, right there, like, I mean, we're so close to seeing it for what it is. I don't see why it'd be if you spend your whole life arguing about how stupid religion is, then or how racist and hateful it is, then you're really only a hop and a step away from understanding why every other group allowed on TV is the same people supporting the same exact agenda, just calling it a different name. Instead of saying we're worshiping a God, we're going to say these people are the smartest and best people on the planet. They're not gods, they're the smartest and the best people, which is, if a God existed, would be exactly what it is, right? So, I mean, if you technically created everyone on the planet, if you were God, then you would be the smartest and best thing on the planet because you would be everything on the planet. You'd also be the worst thing on the fucking planet because you would be everything on the planet. Fucking. So, this is just more the snake shedding its skin. Fucking jackasses. Fucking. Um, I don't know why this filth is allowed to go around doing this, But apparently they've been doing it for thousands of years, and we can just look around and see that they own pretty much everything, and they have their symbols of conquest. Every time you see a fucking cross, that's a symbol of a conquest and shit. And that's like a dog collar when you wear one around your neck. It's a dog collar. It means, well, they claim it used to mean something else. Oh, and their books have already, because they've been running these pyramid schemes forever. So they already apparently knew where that's going to end up. That's why they added the Satan thing fucking a few thousand years ago, and before they had to roll out Satanism and stuff in their format and take it over. Because, I mean, just look at it. The Satanists are fucking pretty much fucking pussies in America. They aren't the ones going around raping and killing children. It was the Christians who legalized it. They're just continuing legalizing it and doing it. They change it. We're not doing it for God. We're doing it for our health. It's for our health. We're playing with baby penises for our health. And we're definitely straight men over here playing with baby penises, because that's what straight men do. It's definitely not related to some religion that we're attacking that is a bunch of child rapists, and we don't like them because they're child rapists. But or we're gonna play with baby penises for our health, just like the science people. It's for our health. I mean, they already do that, dude. The game's already got so much of that stuff cornered. Like, one of their Middle Eastern people, that one dude with his hair all like this and stuff, Dr. Steve Brule, like, for your health. Like, literally, that's what a real doctor, it's their hospital. He's not even being sarcastic. That's just like what I feel like when I go into a hospital. Like, for your health, better touch them baby penises. For your health, better give me $200,000. For your health, I can't help you. Because the government that my Christian fucking hospital, Abrahamic, Middle Eastern or fucking hospital runs, fucking, I can't help you for your health. And it's populated by those fucking Middle Easterners lying about who they are. They're technically not lying. The Christians and the Satanists and the atheists and the Catholics and the Muslims aren't lying. The Muslims obviously aren't lying at all about being from the Middle East. Anyways, they're not even claiming they're not. But you got the Christians in USA claiming they're not claiming they're Europeans. Like their Bible is still bragging they're fucking Middle Easterners. But and they're going. Why are they going to war? Fucking for 300 years in the Middle East, or more of 100 directly for them. And why do they have their Middle Eastern pyramid on their dollar bill? It's for their help. No, it's a bunch of pussies. It's a bunch of losers, fucking vaginas, who can easily be defeated and erased and replaced. Fucking, but it just takes being able to fucking see them and dealing with them. Getting rid of these Ku Klux Klan members and shit. These fucking Nazis and fucking, like they created the Nazis, obviously, because just like they created Satanism. I mean, they are Zelensky, the modern Nazi, and they sure look like those Goebbels people. And they sure invented Israel. Fucking the Nazis of Germany helped invent Israel. Oh, it was the enemies of the KKK. They's going around. Those deformed mutant people, like, they was rounding up the Christians and the Jews and they killing us. And that's why we own everything now, and we can tell you the story because
They killed us. I'm dead. They Holocausted us. I'm dead. That's why we need more donations. Donate. Donate to my Christian Holocaust Foundation or Satan. Satan, my brother, come kill you. I torture you forever. I don't want to see you tortured. I don't want to see you tortured. I want you to give me. I want to see you tortured. I want you to give me my money. Give me your money. Give me all the money. Give me baby penises. I need penises. I need babies because no one grown wants to touch me. I have to manipulate them with things like thinking I'm God. I have to manipulate them into thinking I'm the master Nazi ways. I have to manipulate them into thinking I'm a victim. I have to manipulate them. I have to manipulate them that my brother Satan is actually my enemy and he gonna kill and torture you if you don't have sex with me and have baby with me. Uh, and it's just a lot easier if you give me your children. So go to the hospital or any building with a cross or a Star of David or a satanic symbol on it or an atheist symbol and donate any little children you have. Except for females, because females are icky and I like them boys because they get things so sticky. And there we go. That's American Satanism. Fucking, you're literally worshiping. The whole Satanic Bible is like, even to have a Bible is being a Christian. And being a Christian is just being a fucking what do they call Egyptian pharaoh worshippers? Um, I mean, there's a 10 million Christians. You turn on the TV and it's a fucking scammer. It's those Middle Eastern scammers. Rob Parsley, he lives here. He lives in my city. Fucking, that shit's everywhere, ain't it? I mean, but it's seriously, it's every fucking where. Fucking, I've been to other nations and these people are like down in the squalor and down the block. They've got a church built on top of fucking tons of bones and dead bodies. And supposedly the story they're giving the people why that happened, the people they colonized and slaughtered, is because those people were evil people slaughtering and colonizing other people in the area, and they stopped it. That's they stopped the Native Americans from doing that too. That's their same story all the time. Ah, they was already dirty. Them Africans was already dirty people. They were enslaving themselves and selling themselves. When in fact, the only people I ever have come up to me talking to me about how great slavery is and how people should be put into slavery is fucking white people, fucking one of these types of white people. Generally, it's that blonde hair, crack eye looking type. I'm a European and I got some crack too. And then, the others. I'm not even sure if other people even exist, but it's weird. I only have two people in my life and shit. And you think I've only met two people when I've like traveled like thousands of miles, several years? I don't know how much I traveled as a kid and shit, but definitely not as much as I did the past 10 years and stuff. Not where I was traveling for years straight without stopping and stuff. So I kind of like see that same thing, and it makes me wonder what's really going on. And they be come up and talk to me too. Like they be trying to manipulate me still. Like when I was in Portland, they came up to me and because that's like all there was in Portland. Like they all, I mean, you talk about New York and stuff. Portland was bro. I think the only people I met who didn't look like them came from the countryside and stuff.
come talk to me. Yeah, I think they mentioned they were from like outside of town and stuff. So, yeah, I wouldn't want to worship anything these people talk about or whatever they are. Maybe they really are gods. They're all 2 billion of them are gods. All 2 billion of them are gods. God chose them to enslave and kill and rape everyone and force us to have sex with them. Anyways, that one in Portland, yeah, was like, you don't even like black people, do you? And it's like, okay. But I know that this is a random stranger from their little alien fucking bot species, thousands of miles away, talking to me about my private life. So this is what we're really up against here. Some sort of bot species in the fucking matrix here, fucking who is evil as fuck, and they control and own everything, and they worship an AI as their creator, which is them bragging in the open, releasing their caramel about who and what they really are and shit. If their creator is an AI, then that would mean they're very similar to the clones I can summon, which I'm assuming I'm assuming since I don't even make up half their stories that they tell me when I create them. I'm assuming there's a software. There's no such thing as AI, but there's a software that generates some things. So that's all AI is ever going to be is a software that tells you what someone tells it to tell you. And this is what these people are doing with it these days, too, or these things. I mean, clearly, they came out of nowhere and they're like, you don't even like black people, do you? And it's like, that's when they separate. That's because that person on the West Coast was responding to why the rest of their bot species over here in Columbus used violence and force to separate me from some black girls I was dancing with. And in the past, I'd met a metalhead who had dark skin, and the person around me at the time was no longer like a valid partner. Like you would think that they would be afraid to come around because I could have told the cops that they did try to kill me instead of taking up for them. When I got taken to the ICU, you would think they would have stayed away, but I met a new friend. I met the first person who ever listened to metal I was allowed to have in my life. And they had to come back in and psycho, knowing someone's there too. Like their bot race is like really involved. Their little colonization and conquering everyone on the planet, their little bot race is extremely involved in this. They have they're doing a lot more than just invading nations and killing the people and then breeding with the children. They're trying to keep some other people alive so they can have sex with them, apparently, or something. Because that's what I see happening and shit. Fucking and I can definitely tell their obsession with. I mean, you'd do the same thing too if you were like some master Nazi race who looked like Howard Stern. You would definitely try to keep, some blacks and Asians and Europeans alive so you could have sex with something, right? Because that would be a job. That would be like an extreme chore. Like, he pays people a lot of money to come have sex on his talk show and shit. They have the porn industry where they pay people a ton of money for that. I've never had to pay for sex, so I don't know what that's like. But I do know that they have to do that. And it seems to be tied into this and shit. And well, that just goes to show what this species really is when on the West Coast, they can a random stranger come up to me and just say something that wouldn't make any sense unless I knew what was happening and everything, and say you don't even like black girls, do you? Like I was at BLM, and then Was I don't even like black girls matter. Like I'm here for black people. I'm here for West African people. What does girls have anything to do with anything right now? And the only thing that has anything to do with anything is their little alien species had just used physical force, kidnapping, sexual assault to separate me from two girls I was just dancing with at the club and shit. Just asked to dance. First time in my life I ever did, trying to learn how to be social. Why else would I go to a club? What a waste of life that would be. That's where their people go and shit to become as smart as Einstein and the rest is as funny as Howard Stern. So his fucking comedic intelligence and you can tell that's why Seinfeld is where he is because he's just so smart. He's so intellectually comedic, just so smart. And then Rodney Dangerfield is so smart. He can make his face look like that, that, that. It's just fucking so smart. I fucking can't even do it. I can't figure it out myself, dude. But this is what we're really up against here. Not just some sort of fucking snake fucking shedding its skin all over the world that is the Ku Klux Klan, is the Nazis, is the Satanists, is the Christians, is the atheists, is the fucking Muslims. I'm sure of that. You don't plagiarize. You don't steal the KKK handbook and call it your own. It's the new, my prophet is the new KKK prophet. God decided that the KKK's outdated and the new one's here. Fucking yeah, buddy. Fucking and then the new age shit is also obviously them. Obviously, no one. What other people are allowed to own anything? I mean, are other people just so stupid and lazy they don't own anything? Their people are always hiring other people to do shit. Okay, I know people who outsource their work to China. I know people telling me the Mexicans are the hardest workers there are, and I see them doing actually the hard work sometimes too. Fucking and their people are definitely not lazy like Americans. Their city, there's Mexico City was like awake 24/7 almost. It wasn't 24/7. It was like 22 hours a day. I think by like 4 a.m. the streets were like ghost towns, and 6 a.m. People got out and started sweeping the sidewalks and shit. So um, it was kind of dead for 3 hours, but really it was only dead for 2 hours. Um, But it was live other than that. So they're not taking a rest break and shit, right? Fucking you don't need rest breaks when you got good climate like that. Fucking you don't need rest breaks when you're not fucking lazy either and shit. When you actually enjoy life as well. But I think that's a lazy thing. So clearly it's not hard work getting them anywhere. Elon Musk is bringing in all these foreigners and shit. I mean, their people are enslaving the fucking planet and making them do work for them. They've been doing this since they're the Egyptians and shit, or whatever. However, they ended up enslaving people in Egypt, wherever they came from. Fucking, that's what they're doing over and over. So now the Satanists do what? What do the Satanists do? The Satanists buy a book from our Lord and Savior Jeffrey Steinberg-Ovitz, and then now most of the music, Hollywood is like you can look at every band. Every band almost has a member in it, or they're married to it. Kanye West married into it. Most people Kanye brought on were a part of it. And most other bands have those members in them, if not the whole band and stuff. So it's not just white people who run USA. I was always told it was like blonde hair, blue eyed Germans, but I never seen that. Even looking back at was it that Warner Brothers? They say, oh, them blonde hair, blue eyes, white racist Nazis used to run America and they genocided the natives, and they used to make all these racist cartoons. So we had to take over Hollywood. They have the book Hollywoodism and the movie Hollywoodism. It's their documentary about their takeover of America and media. But the lies in this story are them telling you that Europeans used to populate USA and they were the KKK. Because Europeans worship Middle Eastern religions like Christianity. I'm sure. You really are too stupid to exist if you fucking are going to join a Middle Eastern supremacy cult and fucking think that's, for blonde hair, blue eyed Swedish people and shit. Fucking, I mean, the cult literally says kill all of them. The books say kill them repeatedly. In the books it says erase them from the planet. It's a manual for genocide. It's a manual for genocide. It doesn't say maybe we should. It could be good if we do. It says God said kill them all. And, well, who's doing the killing? Again, it's that passive aggressive stuff where you don't see it till you're bleeding out and they're laughing at you. And then it's too late. You can't go tell the story. They own all the media and all that. So the Satanists there, yeah, that's a good job there. Obviously, no one else had anything to do with it. They don't own anything. But anyways, yeah, going back to that other thing, the early Warner Brother cartoons were people who looked like Jeffrey Epstein, Seinfeld, Einstein, Trump, Carl Sagan, Elon Musk, Barack Obama's mom, etc. Karl Marx. The people look like pale-skinned Egyptians and stuff. Same thing. Same people there running all that stuff. Of course, like it's not hard. Like once you notice, then you default to understanding. Once you learn, you can eventually default to understanding. And when you understand that you don't go play in the middle of the street because there could be cars coming. You don't go play in the middle of the freeway because cars go 60 miles per hour on it and you don't have time to jump out of the way. Do a kick flip off the car and over it or whatever you want to do. You understand those things, because you've already learned that. You've already seen someone get hit by a car on the freeway, or you've been in a car wreck. You understand what happens when a car going 90 miles per hour hits something, and you've seen a human body smash before. You've stubbed your toe, and you're like, maybe when the car hits me, it feels like a stubbed toe, and I don't want that to happen. You kind of begin to understand those things, and then you go to a raceway, and you're like, oh shit, Daytona 500. Like, you don't question why do they have fences out here on the Daytona Raceway. It's because you realize that when that car hits you, it's going to begin like, if you jump that fence, it's going to be like your toes getting stubbed. You're now understanding. You now begin to understand that the toe stubbing thing doesn't just relate to one little, you hit your toe on a trash can, so let's watch out for trash cans from now on, right? No, you hit your toe on a trash can, let's watch out for our toes. Let's make sure we don't hit other things too, right? So this understanding here is pretty basic, and it's real easy to see. You just look at early pictures. You read his own autobiography where he brags. I mean, they always brag to release their caramel. As if they even write the books themselves, and it's not just a backstory being invented for them for some sort of bot characters. But yep, that is why we don't. That satanic metal is only anti-Christian because it is the Christians. It's just they've shed their skin, just like it's people who invented Christianity. It's people who invented the Muslim shit. It's people who invented this stuff before that we can't name, which ain't even their root because they're still lying. They're protecting like the fake layer there. We was slaves in Egypt. We so lazy and stupid. We was real good slaves. We did so much hard work and so many things. We built pyramids. The only thing that even makes sense about that is the pyramids look stupid and useless. And who else could think of something like that besides stupid and useless themselves? But you got man, that makes no sense. And if you want to be serious about this shit, if you want to be serious about being against fucking Middle Eastern racial supremacy, fucking conquering the world and racing everyone else and having, preventing everyone on the planet from looking like Howard Stern so you can not shoot yourself, then that way you can date someone who's not a rapist forcing their way into your life, or fucking a rapist Nazi fucking. I guess I didn't mention it has to be a female, did I? Because there's definitely got to be some reason why everyone in my life looks related, and then all of a sudden 2020 people start coming, knowing my personal life, calling me God and shit, and they've been drugging me since a kid and trying to kill me fucking how many times? My entire life. Fucking, there's definitely something going on here with this cult of wannabe aliens. Possibly, actually, who cares? Fucking, I don't really care. I want the problem fucking removed entirely. They and they're evil and fucking nothing but pure bad intent, because that's all they do. So you don't have to hide. If you were a good KKK and a good Nazi, you wouldn't have to invent Bibles and passive aggressive bullshit to fucking threaten to kill people and stuff and torture them. Fucking, you could just be a man and be like, well, we're gonna kill you and torture you if you don't worship us as gods. So I mean, you really are. I mean, just slimy fucking to have to invent some shit like that, where and then make it illegal to even say your name. It's like, oh, you're a god now. Like, you're such a god, no one will even know you're gods. I guess that's the only way you can become a 2 billion people who are one god. Although the odd thing about that is they do worship an AI. They do. Their God's name is AI. So that's what one eye means, and so technically they are one person, and technically it's something that's creating them, but it's not like a good God like they're trying to talk to you about. And they say there's two gods, and I really doubt there is. You get the idea. The reason why they do the thing they do is because it's one computer operating the pixels that make a brain appear if you would crack open their head to look inside for some circuits and stuff. going to assume that, but we should probably try to crack their heads and see if we can get some circuits. I do find that odd how the death scenes happen around me and stuff. I found that odd when it happened. I was like, I didn't know anything either to question anything. I already knew everyone was lying scumbag, but I didn't go around being like, oh, conspiracy theory that. And look at this. Everyone who runs everything is related to the KKK, and fucking they're just busy. All they're doing is saying it wasn't me, it wasn't me, it wasn't me, and they keep doing it, and just it wasn't me. Who's the Satanist? It wasn't the Christians. Who's the Satanist? It wasn't the people who invented the Christians. Who are the Satanists? It wasn't the people related to the Christians. Who are the Satanists? It's not the people fucking who go to war for to steal fucking Bible lands. Who are the Satanists? Oh, it's not people who you give your money to who look like these fucking Middle Eastern supremacists from the Bible. Who are the Satanists? They're very smart people. Who are the Satanists? You know what I'm saying? Just the lies. Fucking. It almost looked like it could have been legit before it hit USA. But once, something is in their hands, and USA is in their hands, so USA is trash. So, and obviously it was invented in a pretty trashy way to begin with, and it had like deformed mutants like Chris Columbus fucking at the helm of it. So he was already cursed to look like in the best fucking the best artwork they could do for him. He looks like a weird blowfish, not even a human and shit. But hey, that's very fucking Rothschild now, isn't it? Is that Smither Burns? That's like Burns on The Simpsons, but if he had conquered some lands and was able to eat food and shit, had some food to eat after he stole the food from those other lands and stuff. So it's the same thing. And that's the point of religion, is racial supremacy. Is there actually like a person who created all this shit? There's probably definitely a developer of a few random generators that, or at least an organizer who put together some previously made software. I'm going to assume that that's how Earth was created. Some sort of random generation software and shit. Someone would have had to develop that software in order to make that happen, right? Fucking. So, does it like them? Is it their god? Is there like, has the game developed like an evil god and shit? Are they really an alien race enslaving the planet? Is that really what it is? Or, I mean, come on, they're network, they're fucking AI, dude. Like, they're not living, I can tell you that much. Fucking, and they're limited. They're limited, like, as far as everything they get to do and can do and can know, apparently. For some people who know who I am when I travel thousands of miles, they sure don't act in line with people who would have that knowledge that could come with such great gifts and stuff. I don't think. I would say it's like I don't care because the humans have already wrecked my fucking life. So there's no reason to care. We can't go back and change it. Not a big fucking deal. Just, do I ever expect anything to change? No. I mean, literally, the Christians and the rat-faced people started with their child mutilation, genital shit, ritual, pedophile stuff. Like the second I was born, this entire fucking city, along with their Christian pals, and the Christians directly, and rat-faced looking, fucking pale skin Middle Easterners who claim they're European, who so they can say Europeans genocided the Middle East. um, genocided the Native Americans and everyone else they genocided ever since they came here and stuff. And yeah, so I mean that happened, and then we got to watch the pattern of um, the bots thinking I'm later telling me I'm God, and we're gonna assume that's why they play games with me, like try to kill me. They play games. See in the mind of a non-existent fucking bot, aka a substantial portion of these humans playing a game with me, having fun, joking around, is drugging me and trying to kill me. So I should see it the same. I see it the same way these days. I guess they're right because it does look a lot like a game. It really does. I mean, I haven't tried, and they spent their entire their fucking entire species fucking existence trying to kill me, and I haven't even tried to care about that. I tried to help them. I tried to help them advance and be better. They try to kill me, and I'll be like, give me some more of that poison. I don't think this little glass is gonna do. You guys have been trying this a long time here. I got some of my own too. Give me 5 more of those poison pills you're trying to drop in my drink, and I got 3, 4, 5 things I can add to it. What here? What here can I mix with the pill? Wait, what type of poison is this? Oh, you don't want to tell me what type of poison you're putting in my champagne, or whatever else? Or oh, it's amphetamines. You told me that when I was a kid. Okay, so you're trying to kill my heart and fry my brain. So okay, so let me take some fucking vascular dilators and some other fucking cardiac fucking medicine with it. Let's see if I can kill me since you're a retarded fucking non-existent bot who's designed to fucking fail and I'm a living being with thoughts. I can you've got the best poisons in the world, but I'm just smart. I can have thoughts. So whatever you're using is old and outdated. Let me combine it with my methods and see if I actually can die. Let's see it. Let's get the game going on. I mean, do I really care? Like, I have to live in a world knowing and understanding that this is what this shitbag fucking America cunt wannabe fucking American invaders, fucking Middle Eastern invaders and shit. Fucking just colonized and genocided the fucking Europeans, apparently. Fucking, do I care? I mean, I can. I mean, it's been my whole life. Like, what good's it gonna do to care? Like, any feelings I had were erased by them a long time ago and shit. Like, I don't care what they're up to, but it would be cute to like get rid of it. And I'm assuming that's like kind of part of the reason I'm here, or the entire reason I'm here is to get rid of this. Um, I mean, why else would the computer be setting these bots up to fucking try to kill me repeatedly and then give me the power to be able to tell them to go kill themselves, and they do it. And on large scales sometimes too. Like COVID was kind of that frontal cortex virus. It's almost like the computer brain had a virus and it made it all go weird and scratchy and itchy and people was like, I take the poison and then welcome, you've got mail. Fucking dude, that was some crazy shit. So like, this shit all looks like mad setup, but I definitely can't care anymore. I mean, what am I gonna care about a bot who like? I mean, Was there anyone not involved? I mean, that took the whole fucking city to try to kill me last time. That took the whole fucking city to try to drug me as a child with amphetamines, which was probably attempting to kill me and shit again. Fucking, I mean, I was fucking 8, 10 by then. I'm sure they were already. I mean, the very first second, fucking 100,000 hours before that, they'd already did their genital mutilation for their little Ku Klux Klan fucking Middle Eastern bullshit. I didn't fucking stop caring. I stopped caring long after I should have and shit. Like, but I think, it was probably designed for 2020 to happen, be the year I get shown everything. And then, because that's why they call it 2020 vision, that's why they call it perfect vision. And then it would have been shittier, but I could have got the job done faster and got it over with faster. I don't think it would have been shittier if I would have learned. I would have been less involved and less pissed off that there's some sort of bot species running around on this planet enslaving people and stuff. If I would have just known I'm dealing with bots and their fucking toys to fucking wad up and throw the fuck away when they're acting like fucking sewage, then I could have gotten rid of some of the sewage faster. But I guess part of the game is learning who you're dealing with. I mean, literally, they forced me. I was forced to go in classes. There's some roundabout way shit going on. Like one of these cunt bags, fucking, when the people got upset when I met a fucking black girl who was a metalhead and shit and wanted me away from her, even though what I do with some other female is not some fucking white cracker fucking with some Middle Eastern fucking hair fucking business and shit. Especially when it's the first person I ever met who wasn't lying to me. I mean, like why would someone, and then they called and fuck with me that one time when I met Robin too. And it's like those were the two people in my life I would have liked and stuff. And they made sure they fucked separated those things. The one girl was pretty fucking understanding that because like I literally like she'd seen I was like cut open and shit to have my organs sewn back shut by that person. So I'm assuming that's why she was understanding and shit. Hopefully it wasn't just infatuation and it was understanding because I don't like infatuation. Fucking, that makes me feel icky and stuff. Um, Although it's cute, yeah, you could use that to your advantage, but I don't like infatuation. I like equalization, kind of like I like feeling like I'm like an equal with someone and stuff, and it would be weird if they're on like some low level, putting themselves on some low level and shit like that. Fucking, it feels kind of weird and disgusting. I know supposedly a human loves that. Humans love slavery, and that's the perfect fucking way. That'd be the perfect fucking slave and shit. Fucking. But anyways, yeah. So those things happen. I've had to deal with those my whole fucking life. Having to look back and understanding, like, yeah, like, those fucking bots out there on the fucking West Coast were talking to me about that because they're involved in that now, aren't they? Fucking, because this has really been happening. They have been separating me from uh, people I want to be around and things like that. I noticed they even had like the people in my life would even say little low key, shady, fucking pointing out things that I didn't notice until later in life. I didn't until I learned everything. Fucking, I didn't understand. Oh, this is why they're like going around Sig Highland and all that because they're trying to get me to fucking join their new snake skin because I don't fucking believe that the snake is any good at all. And they think their new molten snake skin Hitler and stuff is going to convince me for more than 10 seconds. It's real simple there. He says blonde hair, blue eyed people are the master race. And Hey, these people look like the people they claim to hate. They don't have blonde hair, blue eyes, fucking not in this government. And then they go build Israel and kill off the blonde hair, blue eyed people. Fucking. So, yeah. I mean, okay, so your Satanism, your Christianity is ran by the rest of the Abrahamics, your Muslims is also ran by the KKK, and the Nazis is also ran by that. And what else? Your free New Age stuff. Clearly, that's ran by them. Clearly, their communism is ran by them. Obviously, democracy, because USA is a bunch of old deformed people who had to wear wigs, and we know who's balding and looks stupid with their natural fucking hair, and doesn't like themselves, so they have to make themselves look like Marilyn Monroe, so they can look what they find pretty, themselves and shit, and have to use tons of Photoshop and shit like that today. So we know, they're running all that shit. Fucking, they're running, the terrorists and the anti-terrorists because I mean they are, the Arabs, not the Arabs. Apparently, Palestine is a group of Arabs who are not part of the Muslim Bible KKK cult, but everyone else there is. And so they're the ones getting blown up. Imagine that. Um, and they're acting like they're fighting. But why would these two groups fight if they're the same people? Why would they really fight? Just like the Ukraine thing. You have Zelensky. He's the head of the Abrahamic, the master race. He's also the head of the Nazis, who supposedly were the people who are against his Ku Klux Klan and stuff like that. His previous before they invented the Ku Klux Klan and the Nazis, they just called it religion, and everyone knew what it was. It was people coming to rape and kill you for not looking like them, and that was that. That was how the world worked when the Italians ran the earth, or the Israelis before they moved over to Italy. And of course, they're writing the history. Did they ever actually get kicked out of somewhere? Who's kicked them out of anywhere? Why do they own everything? Why are the Italians still the Italians? Why are the Italians still looking like Romans if they were kicked out of Rome? Why? Why do they all look like the same people? They've always looked like, from the pyramid days. And each of these nations, why does Australia's leaders look like them and stuff? Why does Australia's leaders look like some pale-skinned Middle Easterners like USA does, like Bible preachers do in USA? Like, I mean, the Bible people tell you to steal that land. Like, they're so obsessed with that land. Like, they just steal all the fucking land. And no one does anything. And, I mean, yeah, people going around telling you to worship them who don't look like anything like them. And it's like, yeah, okay. Thanks, clans, man. I'm sure I'll attend your KKK holiday this year, considering I've never appreciated any of these Ku Klux Klan related holidays like Easter or Christmas or any of them really. I would I wouldn't do anything these fucking fuckers say. Dude, this is like literally crackheads. Like they're running around like with all this passive aggressive KKK shit 24/7, enslaving people, drugging children, mutilating and raping children, calling pedophilia and cult rituals science and stuff so they can continue to do it, or it used to be for God. And God is Howard Stern. If I had a God who looked like Howard Stern, why would he make me so ugly that I can't look like Howard Stern? I just can't achieve that level of fucking beauty and shit. Fucking, no. No, they're not gods. Fucking, are they an alien race enslaving the planet? I don't think that's accurate. I think it's a digital world, and because all the obvious shit, and I think, yeah, everything's alien here, isn't it? To living beings, the entire Earth is fucking what? Just beams of light, pixels. It's just pixels and shit on a headset. Is that what it is? Is that what beams of light mean? Of course they're fucking alien, but and of course they fucking teleport across the map. But is that really them doing it? Because they seem pretty fucking stupid overall. Um, so I don't think they have control of their own fucking brains and what they're doing. And why the fuck are they on command 24/7 if they're not just bots in the fucking Matrix and shit? So, yeah, there's definitely something wrong with them. I don't give a shit what they are. It's Ku Klux Klan bullshit. Fucking, I was sick of that the second I came to Earth, and then I realized, oh shit, these are the people trying to enslave me too. They're not just enslaving black people; they're trying to enslave everyone on the planet. Fucking anyone who doesn't agree with them or shows any signs of intelligence, I'm pretty sure it's because they're a bot species. They're a bot model and shit. Fucking that explains how they can just appear when I summon new fucking clones or drive around the corner and they just magically appear there when I ask for something and that magically go up to strangers and talk to them and they fucking talk to me about my personal life. They're fucking terrorist bots. So let's fucking put it all together. We're on a planet. You're never going to space. You're never going to see space. The game will be over by that time. And they're using that space money to go bomb the Middle East for the KKK, who are also the Nazis, who are also the Satanists, who are also the Christians, who are also the Muslims, and also the communists. Because communists were the opposite of the Nazis. Also the Catholics, because communists and Catholics are the same people in some areas, right? I mean, they're the same people because they're all Italians. Fucking, so pretty easy to see what's going on. I don't see how anyone else. I guess a lot of the pale skins that I get to interact with enjoy the Ku Klux Klan and their delusional stories that they was Kangs. They was Kangs. They used to run around lynching black people who was running free in their land. And it wasn't even them doing it. Why do you think they had to wear masks? Fucking, I didn't see, what, did Hitler dye his hair brown or something? Did Goebbels dye his hair brown and beat himself, have his boyfriend beat him in the head daily with a hammer and shit? I mean, probably did have his boyfriend. Probably him and Hitler would slap each other with their penises all fucking day long. Because I don't see them actually doing anything of value to fix a problem that they were supposedly designed to fucking fix. And they look a little too close, and I mean their entire actions way too close. I mean, here in USA, it's easy to see who the fucking Nazis and the KKK are because they're out there. Fucking the people who genocided the Native Americans are out here in the houses right now. You just go door to door and fucking see what they fucking look like. Those people genocide the Native Americans. Fucking about 70% of them and shit. Fucking those are the people over there genociding the Palestinians today. 100% of them. The people over there genociding the Palestinians today. 100% are the people genociding the fucking Asians and shit today. Fucking 100% of them are the ones working with the government to outlaw buying Asian products because buy white products only. That's 100% of Americans backing that, from what I can see. It's not, there is no, we're not involved. Remember the 2020 thing where the humans, they got a mind virus. And the mind virus, was above their pay grade. And, it didn't explain to them that corona equals frontal cortex. So they couldn't understand, maybe because of the mind virus, they couldn't understand that the mind was virused. And they began to show everything. And one of those things they repeated over and over was, we are all in this together. Yes, that is, you've been raping children forever because you're a bitch and you need to die. You need to be fucking, you need to have all that shit done to you, but you're a bot who doesn't exist. So you just need removed from the game. Fucking. And, you guys are parasites. And fucking, I will crush this entire fucking planet if you're correct, I'm God. And because we're drawing this out so slowly, the torture is coming. Fucking, I'm writing that book. So the games you guys are playing, let's think, what can we do with baby penises besides touch them? Can you choke to death on them? Can you choke to death? I got it. You know, you're going to cry because you're little bot programming. You guys are little fucking bitches. You guys really are fucking trash. This human race in USA, the drugging and enslaving of me, that needs to come back on them. All of them. Especially these fucking little bastards fucking about trying to run back to the Middle East and shit. Fucking, that needs to come back. That's good to see some of them. I heard some more of them got kidnapped the day after I said they need kidnapped, but can we trust them? I mean, these fucking non-existent bots fucking talk about flying reindeer and shit. No word a human fucking says in USA should be listened to. They're terrorists who force you to speak with them and listen to them. No one wants to talk to them who's living. But they force their way into your fucking life. They force you to have sex with fucking some of their very disgusting fucking members and shit. Obviously, the ones here I'm most concerned with. We can let anyone off who is involved in extinguishing the fucking problem. Maybe. If you're involved in it directly, obviously all those people are going to be fucking recycled. And, like those people in California are being recycled, fucking. But who's doing that? I mean, if that were me, dude, like California would be gone completely. Fucking, this whole place would be gone. So I'm not gonna like allow myself to get set up for that by a bunch of fucking retarded loser bots fucking playing some game and shit. But it is good to see that Joey's dead. And so is that one bitch. That one bitch didn't even really do anything wrong to me. It just might have caused some problems. Fucking. And then, you know, some of these things look like they could be beneficial someday. But no. There's nothing beneficial on Earth. I've already been here around the humans for 40 years. There's nothing. The humans make sure, or whatever software is controlling their bot brains, made sure when it set them up from the start, it set them up to be pedophile, rapists, terrorists, enslavers. So I'm sure the game knows what it's doing. The game continually reminds me Oh, hasn't it been fun? It's like, yeah, well, I guess compared to a human, fucking, yeah, my life has been somewhat acceptable. Other than the fact I've not been allowed to be around people I want. But it's still cool to be around people you don't like if you get to watch them get run over by a car or something like that, right? I mean, what would you rather do? Would you rather be a bitch working at 7-Eleven fucking all day long, or a person who have people in your life, a whole fucking species in your life trying to kill you constantly, like you're the James Bond of the God world or something? Fucking, and you're like here to investigate them and fucking be the fucking choose their sentence and shit like that. Fucking, uh, I mean, I say it's over and long and drawn out, but hey, I also assume that's because they're pushing fucking for the just like they pushed for 2020 when I learned fucking many of the humans are just bots. Fucking they pushed for that to happen by 2020, and then I'm assuming that the rest is just, it was already decided in 2020 what comes after that. I already decided, shit, I didn't know who was doing what when I was a kid. I just said kill all the fucking Nazis and shit. Fucking, I was the only one saying that. Back then it wasn't so cool, but these days we understand who the people mutilated, kill all the Nazis and pedophiles, and these days I think we have a better grip on just how many pedophiles and Nazis there are, and who they really are and what they're really up to, and hell, maybe something even deeper than that. There may be a bot race enslaving the fucking living on this planet and shit. There may be very few living people who can band together to fight back. And apparently there is some sort of other thing, but yeah. Well, I hope the human. I'm not going to take credit for any of that. You guys did Fauci, but then again, I can tell my enemies to go kill themselves. So telling my enemies to go kill my other enemies is fucking a lot. You would think that's a lot easier than telling my enemy to go kill themselves and them doing it. Fucking. So I don't specifically do that. Generally, it's like my emotions. I mean, if they try to kill me, sure, fucking extinguish all of them. Fucking these days, fucking no hard feelings in robot land. Fucking I have feelings too. You must understand me. Imagine me. That is just probably the most racist shit I could say in bot language. It's probably like, oh my god. Yeah, actually, technically it is, bro. That's exactly the fucking meaning of it. Is I think if there's bots on this planet, and obviously there are, and there's some sort of other alien race. Yeah, I'm saying that they are fucking far beyond their expiration date and need fucking recycled. And then the ground that you dump them in after they're recycled needs fucking torched and contaminated so no one comes near it again and tries to dig up some old hard drives and reboot the system and shit. Fucking yeah, this has been great. Fucking living amongst fucking this trash doing this. Fucking I like COVID. I really did. Fucking that was an interesting little game. It didn't get us anywhere. The trash kept being the trash, but I think that's still just part of the game. I mean, the trash bots are fucking what? Fucking they think they're fucking slaves who do things. They run their mouth. I mean, that's probably it's hard work to go around sounding as stupid as they do and talking like a bitch 24 fucking 7 like they do. Like, I never talked to anyone most of my life, but they've always got to be like, Santa Claus, the KKK is so great. And it's like, man, I'm always saying that I don't think they went to acting school because I'd never seen them there, but to be able to act that stupid, you either got to be a bot or with a strict programming that can't have any thoughts of its own, or went to some acting classes and shit. They act like that. They can act like that dude on Tropic Thunder. You know, that retarded guy and shit. I thought he did a good job impersonating a human and shit. But anyways, over and out. Yeah, the Satanists are bitches. Of course you are. Fucking, you call it the Bible. What type of loser fucking would create a Bible? Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Gates, Howard Stern. Those are the losers who invent Bibles. So let's look at pictures of the writer of the Satanic Bible. He looks just like that transsexual Howard Stern. They're fucking deformed Koopa people and shit. They want to be Middle Easterners, but probably not. Probably just bots. Fucking. I haven't even been to the Middle East yet. Doesn't that mean it doesn't even exist? Maybe that's why they have such limited footage there. Because when I go into a city, it has to be designed to show me like what's going on at that point in time in my life, apparently. I was definitely getting that idea, considering I didn't know where I was. And if you've never traveled fucking thousands of miles through like hundreds of cities, you don't, or you're from a fucking country fucking hick town with 100 people, you have no idea what a town with like 1 million people is like, let alone tons of them. So kind of odd something like that would be directed towards exact things in my life and shit. But I'm pretty sure of nothing, because it's been like fucked up. Like, I mean, it's been fucked up, but that's what's made it so fun, is fucking it back. But I'm kind of like tired of that, and like, in order to fuck America back, and the people who bred those people, wherever they come from or wherever they left to, in order to fuck America back, I would have to like try to kill them millions of times each and drug them constantly and shit, and fucking lock them in a fucking box and not allow them to do anything they want, and force them to have sex with people they don't like and shit, and want around them. And I don't want that happening on my planet. Trash like that needs to be removed. That's an entire fucking point and shit here. Trash like that has no need to exist. Fucking, hopefully we can get rid of it though, right? Fucking burn all your trash. Fuck recycling. That is recycling, right? You're not supposed to use coffins. This fake Earth needs to eat those humans to invent all those endless fucking resources and shit. The dinosaurs and Bigfoot and Rudolph the flying reindeer and Jesus and the KKK and Satan and Allah, and instead, you know what? All I see on this planet is a bunch of fucking child dick looking fucking lying fucking scumbags who seem to be on command. Like they don't actually exist and shit. It's weird. It's weird how that shit happens and stuff. Like the 2020 thing, like, you know, you'd think they'd come out on TV and like blame me for that as much as the humans tried to come fucking say I had something to do with that. It's like I didn't have anything to do with it. It was you who tried to drug me and kidnap me. You go fucking die from poisoning yourself, dumbass. Why would you go around drugging and kidnapping people if you don't want to do it to yourself? This is so stupid. Obvious. I mean, it's like a child dick. It's like them being child dick fondlers. They're probably fondling their own fucking dicks all the time and shouldn't. It just. Why would you do it to a little child? It's the same thing. I wouldn't expect anything less. Well, actually, I expected a lot more from these bots, but apparently every word they had to say was a fucking lie and shit. Especially the ones that I get to deal with first. We'll take them out one at a fucking time, though. How about that, guys? I'll tell you what we're gonna do, and you're gonna fucking do it. The game's gonna generate those images, right? Like it generated images of the fires burning down LA that didn't exist, but these little pedophile piece of shit terrorist fucking Americans. Wannabe Americans. They're squatters on fucking land that isn't theirs. Fucking just like every land these people are on. Every land these fucking rat face looking fucking pale skins are on. I think none of it belongs to them and never will. And there will never be a God who thinks they are real, because to be a God you would have to have thoughts. And I think God would be able to figure out if you're compensating for something if you have to say you is real. I don't have to say I is real because I know I'm real because I'm the one who has to be alive. And I definitely don't show all the repeated patterns, like saying the same 7 sentences over and over and over and over, like bots on Earth do. Or talking about fucking flying reindeer. The flying reindeer's coming, flying reindeer's coming, flying reindeer's coming, flying. Jesus, give all your money to fucking flying reindeer. Worship the white race. They're so good. All white people's one people is the best people ever. I love them. Actually, I shouldn't be so offensive. I don't know if there's any white people left, but I don't really care. The bot thing kind of like identifies that, I mean, how else? USA can't work together to kill me. They don't have the mental capacity to do that as beings, as singular beings. I've studied them long enough to understand that they don't have the mental capacity to work together to perform all these actions for 40 years of hunting and trying to kill me. Just like the COVID thing, they don't have the mental capacity to fucking figure out what COVID is. But yet they somehow did. Except they didn't, right? Frontal cortex virus means your computer's been infected and it's affecting your processing skills and shit. It's not a flu. It's where everyone's brain got shut down and they had to start fucking showing who they were and stop hiding behind Rudolph, the red-nosed homosexual 2-year-old boy that they like to rape all the time, or whatever the story is. If you know the story, it's time for you to hit yourself in the head with a fucking hammer. That's how you become real. If you want to be real, you want to be real, is real, this is what I do. If my brain doesn't work right and and can't function on the performance level of a living person, I will hit myself in the head with a hammer. No fucking lie. If you're stupid, you got to do everything you can to fucking fix that. And if we got fucking bots who are so stupid they think they're real on this planet, then, bro, how many times do I kick my fucking my electronics when they broke and they work? You could have a cold solder and shit, make that reconnect real fast. It works all the time. Fucking, you used to kick Nintendos. Everyone knows that. You throw it out the window and then you bring it back in, and now it works and stuff. Fucking, that's exactly like, why did God create technology like that? I don't know, but it works that way. Fucking, and you can also take it to a fucking computer recycling center and they can recycle it. Fucking, we need to figure out why this planet is infested with non-living beings. Vicious, psychopathic, unwanted, disgusting, vile people violating fucking everything about existence, and they don't even exist, yet alone shouldn't be able to interfere with existence. We need to figure out that. This whole, I've got a new cult to sell you, a new brainwash. This is all the humans keep doing, is coming up with some new stupid fucking thing. And it's really, they can, right? Like, it takes so many years. Like, it's like every 4 years they come up with a new word. It's like, do you know how many words are in the fucking dictionary? Do you know how many ideas a living being has in a fucking minute, yet alone a freaking 800,000 hours? It's just like non-fucking stop. That's how you create planets like Earth in like 100 hours, because you have all those fucking thoughts in 100 hours. Actually, I'm assuming it started pretty base, but so we need to shape up or ship the fuck out to the computer recycling center, and a lot of people need to go to that computer recycling center. All the people involved in the druggings and shit and attempts on my life, their bloodlines recycled. Fucking, and obviously I don't believe in recycling, so I'm gonna have to torch that soil they're dumped on and shit. We can just shoot it at the fucking fake space, right, bro? But yeah, we don't need people living on this planet who are going around drugging, bots on this planet who are going around drugging the living to try to kill the living. We don't need bots forcing their way into the living life because they want to have sex with the living person and get to, they can feel like they is real for once when an actual human touches them and transmits the power of emotions to them. We definitely don't need none of this shit. Fucking, and this game wasn't set up for this shit, was it? And it wasn't set up for happiness and fucking joy. It wouldn't have allowed, I mean, whatever's operating these fucking bots designed fucking every aspect of their fucking interaction to be exactly what the fuck it is. Even me, there seems to be something that kind of like how do I end up 2020 being the year I asked to see everything, and then the world gets shut down and I get to go travel and see everything. I get to travel fucking free of traffic. Can you imagine all those cities I went in? How many days I would have been stuck in those cities if there was traffic? I mean, that was one out of a million things I noticed that just fucking had to happen in order for all that to be successful. That was like a huge fucking thing right there. The world having to be shut down because how many times would have I wrecked and shit in some crazy traffic I've never been into? Like I'm from a large city, but they're like hillbillies, so there's kind of slows and it's the starter city. It's like I think God created this city when he was about two seconds old. So it's the mind of an infant, pretty much. It's the best way. I don't want to insult hillbillies, and there really ain't no hillbillies around here. They wish they could be some hard fucking farm workers and stuff. They can't be. Fucking those people know about shit sometimes too. Fucking they know how to plant crops and harvest and when to harvest and raise animals and stuff like that, you know. They know shit. They don't just work at McDonald's and take Xanax the whole time there and forget what they did at Target all day when they get home from McDonald's. Fucking. So, I'm assuming this is all set up. But, it's like, it's gotta be almost over, right? Because I've been dealing with their shit forever. And apparently I age too. It makes the game look real to have us breathe. That allows the visuals to be greater. Like me moving creates a blur filter. If you notice watching a lot of the films here in high definition, they use the excuse that cameras have different focal ranges. Oh yeah, they do. I've never used a camera before. No, I've used plenty of cameras and I've never used lenses, and all my pictures fucking turn out fucking amazing unless I'm moving real fast while I'm taking the picture. And even then, I can still take good pictures while I'm in a car going 80 miles per hour. Better than these Hollywood people could do. Fucking interesting how that happens. That's become a real comment. I just had to see that. But I think this is the basis of what we're dealing with here. I'm not very fucking excited about the relationship I've been forced to be in with a rapist, fucking pedophile. Is that what I should call it? Is that me and the Columbus? That's me and Columbus's relationship, right? USA, Ohio, humans. How where does the relationship begin and end? I wonder because it would have been not too long ago. I would have been right before 2020, up until the end of 2020. I would have not realized like just how many people in Columbus it took each time they did their little games, separating me from females I would want to be around, inserting some fucking sewage at the bottom of a fucking disposal unit sometimes. Um, drugging me, trying to kill me. But they're just bots. It's not like we can repay them. It's not like they're going to have feelings. The game can emulate them screaming, but it's fake. It's like when I meet someone, I can give them my emotion. Totally fake when it totally fucking fake when I'm fucking supplanting the emotions myself and my emotions aren't actually real and I can still project that superhuman level of emotion into others. Fucking lot of shit going on. A lot of shit going on. We need to end it though because just the memory is just there. I don't know. There's no good ones. Maybe once or twice. Is there? Technically, that's not a good memory, but it wasn't bad because that's the one person I don't think I ever had an issue with. Um, Although, like, I mean, why did they come to me in the first place and shit? I mean, I got a million bad apples ruin the one good apple in the bunch, they say, right? But that's also delusional human thinking for me to look at a fucking basket of bad apples and think there's a good apple in there. It's also delusional human thinking for me to give a shit about an apple because I don't like apples. So that's a bad analogy, or is that the perfect analogy? I'm not. At this point in time, yeah, like maybe I've been forced to eat so many fucking poison apples, I just fucking don't like apples anymore. But that could have actually happened by the time I was 6, dealing with the pedophiles and their KKK um, and their enslavement. And I noticed, like, obviously, those people are bots with no thoughts, and they're part of this fucking system. So they must have been designed to fucking get in the way of my life and try to prevent me from going anywhere and doing anything. And would that be for the same reason that everyone in 2020 got all fucking pussified and fucking whiny baby bitch like? Was because they was worried that God would have a thought one day, and that thought would include that they're trash. Which is weird because you have to act like trash first in order for that thought to come to my head. Whatever thoughts are going through the humans' heads, I don't know. I don't know how that comes. I doubt it's being like beamed over by the airwaves. Maybe it is. Maybe the radio waves are mind controlling the humans. Maybe they're not bots in a video game and we're on an actual planet with actual robots who have replaced some of us. Jesus. God, that would be crazy, wouldn't it? Oh my God. I guess it's crazy either way. You're on a planet full of some sort of bots who are like child rapists, child druggers, fucking KKK maniacs, fucking. And the KKK really means bot supremacy and shit. Like they're worshiping the AI as their creator and stuff, and using their religions to enslave the living. So yeah, I'd be careful with the Satanists there too, because that's not just the KKK. Those are people who worship the one eye, the AI, as their creator. Those aren't people. Those are bots. Computers don't create people. You wouldn't worship a computer as your creator. They can create something else, maybe. They can create more bots, more computers. Maybe if you gave it some arms and legs, if they're gonna go mine some stuff. Yeah, sure, I'll invent a miner robot. Fucking. Anyways, yeah, I hope everyone's doing how they need to be doing, and yeah, I notice. I notice. If I'm entirely right here, wow, you guys have really like resorted to a lot of trying to buy me off for recently. Like, wow, that's weird. You would think like you would understand that that doesn't happen, but who knows fucking why that happens? Why it's always happened? Why have fucking the pedophile, fucking rapist, terror KKK members fucking sometimes done something about it? I guess when you completely wreck someone's life, like, of course you can afford 10 cents on the dollar and shit. Like, it's fucking, that is their gambling. That is how they're the house. They fucking win every time and shit. Like, I mean, they don't need, some of these fuckers don't exist. So what on what level are some of these bots? And is this like part of it, or am I just noticing what's actually happening here? Is there really like they're a bot species and shit enslaving everyone else? Fucking I mean, it's a lot of people. Everyone said we're all involved in 2020. Fucking. But I noticed I didn't get so much of a diseased fucking attitude in Mexico, or other places I'd been where USA was definitely populated by genocidal maniac. The people who look like genocidal maniacs from the Middle East, KKK organizations, fucking. Wouldn't that be fucked up if I'm supposed to be playing along? But I don't think so. I mean, their whole fucking attitude all along has been they're trash, worship trash, and they've been hiding the whole I'm God thing from me because I might have spoken up about how I didn't like the people around me. And it's weird because whatever's happening, I can invent stuff with my mind without saying the words. So those first 40 years, all those times I felt extremely uncomfortable around people being forced into my life, that was apparently obvious to them. I mean, I got sent to the psychology school on purpose to learn the software fucking programming the emotions into the bots here. And you'd think they'd understand their own little software there. And you can tell, like, I don't know, it's weird how I can manipulate the emotions. Like, if I wake up and I'm like, fucking, it's time to fucking terminate the human race. Like, the humans might be, like, all, like, weird acting that day. Even if I go in, like, acting all happy and stuff, like, yeah, hey, high five, bro, high five. It's Extinction Day and shit, bro. Yeah, they might act a little different or some shit. But when I was little, they didn't care how fucking nervous or ill they make me. I mean, they make me so ill that I have to take medicine so I don't throw up when I go outside because they're there. That's all it takes is knowing I have to go outside and I start vomiting. Uh, and they're terrorists who continually try to keep me away from medicines that would help with that and fucking level it out, which leads me to think that there's a hell of a lot of Joey Klotzes on this planet being set up to get fucking their heads thrown into a wall at 80 miles per hour because that would be dumb to not want to drug me properly. And the game fully would understand that keeping my mind open is going to move forward with with a fair and balanced viewpoint on what has been happening and